Big Timber Log Ride at Enchanted Forest in Oregon is one of the most controversial rides in the coaster community. Not because it's bad or anything like that. Rather, enthusiasts cannot decide if it's a coaster or not. Most of this layout is a log flume, and a pretty good one too, but there is an extra drop and uphill section before the final plunge, so in this review, I will discuss this quirky attraction. Enchanted Forest has always been more about the theming and atmosphere than the rides, but they have added a few over the years. They added the unique Ice Mountain Bobsleds roller coaster in 1983. Then in 1996, they added the Big Timber Log Ride. This was a log flume built by a local company in E&F Myler. Myler made a name for themselves building kiddie coasters, but they unveiled a water coaster at the Washington State Fair in 1995 named Kersplash. This ride featured two sequences when boats would go down sizable drops, swoop upwards, and then go down a more traditional drop on a log flume, leading into a splashdown. Following up on that, they built the Big Timber Log Ride in 1996. This was more akin to your traditional log flume. You had the usual 4-person log seating people in line. Then much of the layout is a water-filled trough the boat slowly floats through. But you have that section towards the end that puts in the discussion as a coaster. You have a small drop followed by an uphill ascent. Then you turn 90 degrees before the final plunge. So is it a coaster? I count it, but it's barely one in my opinion. The drop sequence is pretty similar to SeaWorld San Antonio's Journey to Atlantis, or Europa Park's Atlantica Super Splash if you think about it. All three rides have a lift, hill, and turn. Then you have a small drop and rise upwards. Then you turn to the large drop. But why aren't some of these other flumes with uphill portions coasters? To me, the uphill portion needs to exist outside the main drop sequence. I believe this is the same logic that RCDB uses. Because of how fringe Big Timber Log Ride is, I do not fault people who classify it exclusively as a log flume, especially because the ride compares most favorably to those water rides. The final drop looks great though between its size and the water wheel at the base. I also like the wooden station, but not much of this attraction can be seen off-ride. Most of this flume's layout takes place atop a heavily wooded hillside. It is a neat location though. If you want to ride this attraction, I strongly recommend heading there early. This ride is awful capacity. They appear to have just 3 logs on the course. That is not a lot for a log flume, especially one as long as this. There were 2 additional logs off to the side, so not sure if the max the park is willing to run is 3 or if they'll run more on busier days. Compounding the issues at the park is families and groups sit in their own logs. Add in the 5.5 minute ride duration, and you are looking at this ride handling as little as 60 to 120 riders per hour depending on the party sizes. In my 2019 visit, I waited in a good chunk of the covered queue line, and it took roughly a half hour. But there is a section outdoors too. I noticed there's a sign at the start of the queue stating the line is an hour from that point. So if they bothered to hang that sign, that means the line probably goes back to that point at times. As of 2023, the park is operating the rides exclusively as upcharges. Big Timber Log Ride specifically costs $5 per person. In the past, you used to be able to get a wristband for the rides, so hopefully that is brought back in the future. Once dispatched, you slowly float out of the station and turn towards the lift hill. This is a ginormous lift hill for a flume, and it takes a while to go up. I wonder if that's the limiter on this ride's capacity. Most log flumes use conveyor belts, but this one uses a chain lift system more akin to a roller coaster. At the top, you head into a shed. There, you'll encounter some logger animatronics. They're simple, but a nice touch for a park like this. And there's also an animated buzzsaw too. This part reminds me of a scene you get on the log flume at Knott's Berry Farm, or the final sequence on Desperado Plunge at Great Escape. You then head outdoors for a slow and scenic jaunt along the hill. As I noted earlier, you are surrounded by trees on all sides. There are a few things to see such as a bear statue and a shop front, but most of this section is just about you and nature. It is so quiet and serene up there. You then enter a small drop. No thrills, but it will get you a little wet. The drop throws water on your back on the way down. Then the resultant splash will mist you in the face, but the wettest part comes later. You then have some more turns. You have the hill to your right, but you can look down the hill to your left. While your view is mostly blocked by trees, you can get a scale how high up you are. This is towering for a log flume. Eventually, you head up another small chain lift. Now it's time for the signature coaster section. The drop is about the size of the small drop in most flumes, but it doesn't have any punch to it. Then you rise upwards, getting no airtime. This section purely feels like a gimmick, unfortunately. At the top, brace yourself. You are sharply brought to a near stop. With no restraints, it can jerk you forwards. You then slowly turn to the right for the largest drop. This is a good plunge. It again offers no airtime, but it is a zippy drop with nice speed to it. RCDB lists the plunge as 40 feet or 12 meters in height, but it feels noticeably taller than that. The final splash is massive. If you ride alone, you'll get comfortably refreshed, but if you have a full log with multiple adults, prepare to get soaked. Whenever I saw a larger group get off, they were very wet. There's a reason the park sells ponchos right before you board. You then float back to the station, ending the adventure. So what would I rate this attraction? Big Timber Log Ride earns a 7 out of 10. This is a good log flume type ride. I love the unique setting, and the visuals along the route are nice between the trees, and then you have that short dark ride section. While the smaller drops and coaster section don't add much to the experience, the final plunge is quite satisfying. So coaster or not, this is an enjoyable ride. Just try to go there early to avoid that slow moving line. So those are my thoughts on Big Timber Log Ride at Enchanted Forest. What are your thoughts on this attraction? Is it a coaster? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.